Hello gamers, and welcome to another look at a new division in WARNO, introduced by the Bessieres-Patch. Milestone was the 5th Division Blindee, the first French division. We've seen some French troops already in Territorial Commando Sud. So logistics tabs, as usual almost, not that many points available, or it's quite expensive. Infantry gets expensive super quickly, but you've got lots of choices. Artillery again quite cheap, not too much choice. Tank tab, decent, very decent. It's a tank division after all. Recon tab, you can put quite a few cheap units in, 4 cheap slots. AA tab also rather cheap. Not much choice with regards to helicopter, and some new airplanes with rather expensive slots quickly. So let's start with the most important, the infantry. Pretty much all the units are new because there haven't been many French troops before. So here you can see the logo or the arms, coat of arms. So the Prévôté is a half infantry group, super cheap, 10 points, availability 12, which ain't that fantastic either, I think, considering that it's only 4 dudes with a submachine gun. Not sure if they will be very viable in comparison, for example, to the, I think it's the military police that was introduced at the beginning of early access already, that also has AT capabilities. Then you get a commander unit, and they can come in the AMX-10, but only with an autocannon. And the commander unit basically has 8 assault rifles. 115 points, not too expensive. You get the escort, they can also come in the AMX-10P, and they are rather cheap with 20 points, but as you can see also only 8 assault rifles. The chasseur, you get 1 card of these escort units, but then the chasseur, they cost twice as much, have the same availability, can come in the AMX as well. And they've got a medium machine gun and an anti-rocket launcher. So they cost twice as much, but I think they're also more viable. Then you get a card of reserve units. They can only come in a truck. They have a battle rifle and submachine guns and a medium machine gun. So an all-round unit without AT capabilities though. But if you compare them with these, the 6 battle rifles are actually almost as good. The rate of fire is not as good as the assault rifle, but then you also get the medium machine gun and the submachine gun. So I actually think that the escort PC on paper at least looks a bit better, also with the higher availability. You get a engineer or pioneer support commander unit with a machine gun and assault rifles, and they can come in the AMX 13 in 2 variants, one with the machine gun and the slightly more expensive one with the autocannon. So I guess the autocannon is the preferable option, and 20 points for the truck. And the truck is faster, but I think, yeah, I would not bring them in the truck. Then you get the sappers with grenades, well, with satchel charges in the grenade category. And that's pretty cool because you also get flamers. And I think it might be really cool to combine them in city fights and see what works best. You can also bring all of them in the 2 variants of the AMX 13 or in the TRM. And let's jump down here quickly for a really cool looking anti-tank crew, because they've got 2 anti-tank rocket launchers with the Apilas, meaning 21 penetration. And I think these 3 combined, can hold the ground in the city quite well. And yeah, and they've got a variety of vehicles. They can come in the VAB, VAB Milan even, only 5 points more than the VAB, which is interesting because the difference is basically the Milan has better optics and and the Milan, and it's only 5 points more, and then for an additional 5 points you get a autocannon variant. Then you get some Milan 1, 17 penetration, and the Milan 2 has 24 penetration, 2.5 kilometer range for both, almost 2.5 kilometer. Availability is better for the Milan 1, and both of them can come in really nice fighting vehicles. Here you get 6 missiles. Here you only get 4. So, but the range is the same. Milan Saklos, yeah, same. It's exactly the same missile. Personally, I would go for the availability here. Also, I think that the autocannon is possibly better than the machine gun. Then you get the third commander unit in the infantry tab, and that's Voltigeur. It's 6 dudes with a machine gun, and they can come in the VAB variants. Then you get the Grenadier Voltigeur, basically an all-round unit, and you also get 6 cards of them. So, and then you get a better version for only 5 points more. The availability is worse though, but they get the Apilas rocket launcher. But considering that you don't have much, it's quite costly, the tab, maybe it's better to go for availability here. Then you get a commander unit. They can come in the Super Puma, which can shoot though, and they have to come upwetted. And they've got light support weapons, assault rifles, and anti-tank rockets, 10 dudes. You might be able to make it work behind enemy lines. We've already looked at the group anti-car. In the logistics tab, you get the Kangaroo supply helicopter with 1,500 supply. You get 2 cards of supply trucks with 1,750 supply each, which is more, and availability is 1 less. Then you get this cute little vehicle as a command unit. You get the VAB PC as a command unit, which is super fast and has an HMG. And then you get an AMX-10, not super fast, but with an autocannon. Can take out helicopters quite nicely, I think, as well. So, and has same availability as the VAB, but worse availability than the P4. Artillery tab, you get a 120mm mortar, so quite beefy, and they can come in a VAB. You get your mobile mortar with an HMG mount or medium machine gun mounted on top, and you get the howitzer gun. Good range, but artillery, not quite sure about artillery yet. Tank tab obviously is going to be super interesting. This is a known unit from Territorial Commando Süd, the P4 Milan with 24 penetration, high availability. I think this is really cool. Then you get the MX-30 EBG. That's a bit like the Avra for the British. It's more like anti-infantry gun, abysmal range, but maybe as some support in city fights as well. Then here you get a high availability for this main battle tank with 17 penetration, which could deal with lots of Soviet main battle tanks. Only 10 frontal armor. And if you take a look at the better main battle tank is the B2 variant down here. Let's make a direct comparison with the standard B2. As you can see, the B2 is more expensive, has worse availability, only 1 more penetration, and slightly better accuracy, slightly better armor. So yeah, it's not a huge jump, considering it's staggering 40 points more. It's also faster, so, and you only have 1 card of the AMX-30B, but still, there's not a huge jump. You get the B2 in a command variant as well. And then you get the B2 Brennus, or Brenu I guess, which basically has better armor. That's the difference. The rest stays the same. Better front and side armor. Speed is not affected. Then you get some rocket launchers here as well, or ground-to-ground missiles. 12 Saklos, and that's pretty cool because 24 penetration, very good range. And here you also get 12, and the difference is obviously the vehicle. This has less availability but better armor. But at this distance, or if you get hit, you know, this armor doesn't help you that much anyway. Maybe against airstrikes. So potentially I think that this is a better option. In the Recon tab, you get the Éclaireur. They do have AT rockets. I think that makes them quite usable. You can bring them in the Alouette, in this kind of fighting truck with a heavy machine gun mounted on top, or in the P4. I think it's this is obviously the fastest, but this can shoot a bit. Not sure if you need that for your Recon squad. You get a small Recon vehicle here with very good optics, and then you get a Milan variant, which can be really cool because it can spot and kill the tanks and other armored vehicles. You get the Alouette. You get an AMX-10 medium with a medium machine gun, purely for scouting, I'd say. But then you could instead consider less availability, though, 2 less, but you could consider getting the exceptional optics over this, also the better speed. I've never really played with exceptional optics units. Might be worth a try. Then you get AMX-10s here in the fighting range, 17 penetration. Good AT gun, they can spot and fight. And then you get the Sublimed or Blindee. And the difference here is, I think I put this AMX-10 in my Territorial Commando Süd deck. But this one has better armor for only 5 points more, but availability goes down a bit as well. I don't think this slight armor increase is worth the decreased availability. AA, you get this, reminds me of like lots of those, for example, Soviet trucks in Steel Division 2, and it's so cheap that it's probably garbage, but it can shoot against ground targets as well. You get the Mistral, and they actually have a good accuracy, so it could be worse. You get the MX-13 in an AA variant, okay-ish range. Unfortunately, it's radar guided. And that's a huge problem, I think, for this division, because everything is radar guided. You have to be really careful against Zert planes. You get the Roland 2 that's been recently, some patches ago, nerfed to be radar guided as well. And then you get the Roland 3. I'm not sure what the difference between these Rolands is in comparison to the German units. I think it must be like the vehicle or something, because there are Rolands already, obviously. And this has actually poor unit quality, I don't know why, compared to the Roland 2. That's a bit odd. Has better accuracy, better range. Not sure. Helicopter, you get the Gazelle Hot and the, in my opinion, slightly better Gazelle Hot 2. Obviously better penetration. Range is the same, but possibly the Hot is enough. Also you get better availability. In the air tab, lots of new planes. The Jaguar Seat plane, a must pick, I guess. Then you get the Mirage 3 as your first AA option, and your second AA option is the Mirage F1C 200, and I think that's preferable. It has the slightly worse air-to-air missile range with the with the, it's got the Super 530F as opposed to the R530, and the reason why I think it's better is that you get, despite slightly less range, is that you get two of them, two of the rockets, and also you have an ECM of 20% rather than 10, and you get the better speed. Agility is worse, but I think, yeah, the Mirage is the better call. You have only 30 points more, same availability. Then you do get a napalm plane, good speed, very good agility, cluster bomber, already known from the Territorialkommando Süd. Then you get air-to-ground missiles here, and I think this can be really cool to take out enemy tanks, maybe more accurate than the cluster bomber. Same availability, only 5 points more, and yeah, you can shoot from more range, obviously. So I think this could be your go-to AT option. And then you get an HE bomber. It also has some air-to-air missiles, unguided bombs. So you get some nice options, but already the fourth slot is quite expensive. Yeah, that's the Division. So what's my favorite card? I want to choose a new one, obviously, and not something that's has been here before. And I think this unit is really cool. So I will use that for the screenshot if I can. I would love to not show this, but there we go. Yeah, this is my unit of the deck, and I would probably bring it with the autocannon to fight against, because this can kill tanks, and then this can in cities, and this can kill infantry. So yeah, let me know what you think of the Division if you played it already, and in the next video you will see my first attempt at building a deck. Thanks a lot for watching. Until then, bye for now.